Okay, here's the transformation for Onslaught back into his robot mode. So first, as always, remove the accessories, and then here you want to untab it, and then you want to fold in the little flaps, the inside, and then you want to untab these sides here on both sides. And once you do that, you should be able to lift this little piece here, which is a mushroom peg. And then you need to flip them over. So to do that, you need to turn the you need to rotate the turret 90 degrees, bring it down, rotate the turret back the other ways, and then bring this one back. Okay, then we can split these legs in half like so. Let's get it, go ahead and get it to a stance. Let's rotate this back up facing forward, and we can push these in. Okay, then what we want to do now is in the inner part, untab here so we could lift up here so we could bring out this foot, and then we want to move it out of the way, so on the double hinge bring it down. So do the same thing on the other side, untab the inner part of the leg so we could lift this top piece up, which then will allow us to bring the foot down, and then we want to rotate this foot out. And I forgot, just also bring down these heels. Okay, then back here, these flaps, now bring them to the back on both sides, and then you could see the double hinge. Now we want to lift it up on that double hinge on both sides, and then we can now start closing this back up. So bring this down, it should tab in right there, bring in the panel for the inner part of the leg, find the tab, line it up, tab it in, give it a good squeeze, and then from the back we can tab this one in, you can see, and then we could drop this whole piece down, but we forgot, we got to bring this one piece flap out. Now we can bring it up, find the tab, tab it in, and give it a good squeeze, and then we can bring this foot up. Same thing on this side. So bring down this top piece, find the tab, tab it in, bring in the inner part, find the tab, line it up, tab it in, give it a good squeeze, and then on the back, you can bring this down like so. And then the foot, we can go ahead and bring this up. And this piece, before you bring it down, bring down that cover, that one panel here, and then we can accordion this back closed. Okay, now we have the legs done. Now let's go ahead and pull to extend the whole thing, and then we can go ahead and rotate it 180 from up there, and let's finish off the hips here. So lift up these side hip skirts, and then here you're gonna have to push down that front hip skirt, and then just adjust this foot accordingly so that that piece doesn't go back up. Once you get it, then you could bring this down, and then that should prevent it from going back. Do the same thing on this side, bring it forward, and then bring it down. Okay, now we got all that done. Now up here, what we want to do is start untabbing everything and opening it up. So drop this down like so, and then here untab these arms from the hood, and here let's give us some room, so go ahead and on the double hinge, let's bring this down and out of the way. So now let's see, let's open up these doors also, and then that's kind of stuck there. Untab the doors, and then once you do, close the windows down. Okay, then we can lift this piece all the way up, and then you can start folding in all these pieces. And here, this is really important because you need to lift up this piece, which is a tab that goes into the slot up there. Okay, now once we got all of that, let's bring down this front part of the vehicle 90 degrees. So now what we can do is fold in the tires and rotate it 180. Fold in the tire and rotate it in 180. Okay, now you have to take note there are tabs here. There's a tab there that goes into the slot. So when you're lifting this up, you got to make sure you find the tab, line it up, tab it in, because this part's very important. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to close it to this tab here. So if you did everything right, well, before that, let's close this. And also, this is on a double hinge, so you have to make sure you pull it down. And then the same thing, take note of the tabs, find the tab, line it up, tab it in, do it on both sides. And now, if you did everything correctly, like I said, this should tab in. And yeah, maybe that's good that it did not happen the first time around, because that just emphasizes my point that you have to make sure you get these things tabbed in. So this is the little finicky part because you can't really see those tabs, but as long as you're aware of it, you know what you're doing. So now let's be more, okay, that one I've heard it. Okay, so now let's kind of hold it in place, bring back these sides, find the tab, tab it in. You do have to kind of lift it up over, and that one I can feel is not tabbing in. Let's do it on this side. Okay, see, I heard it, and then now I have to hear it maybe on this side also. Yeah, see, you could kind of tell it's not tabbed in on this side. So you're gonna, there it is. Now, this should come all the way down. There you go. I'm glad that happened so you could see where the mistakes will happen if you don't get things properly lined up. And then here we can now grab here from the base, not on the center, but here, the sides, lift them open like so, and then we can bring these two together, get those blue tabs in there. Once you do, then you can close them, which locks the whole thing into place. There. Now let's come up a little so we could see. And you could see what we need to do is now just bring down these arms. So let's go ahead and bring it down. Extend the hands on both sides, and then here the tire, you want to push it, but you have to find it the right way. It kind of looks like a hat shape, so find the tire to look like the hat shape, and then you should be able to push it down. Okay, then lift up these panels up here on both sides, and then the 180, so rotate it down 180, and then from the forearm, rotate it up 180, and then you can close that flap and then bring down this arm. Do the same thing on this side, rotate this around 180, rotate the forearm up 180, and then close this panel here, bring the arm down, and the last thing, we could just rotate the head around 180, and bring down his head 90, and now, oh, I forgot, we also have to push forward his legs on both sides. Now, we have Onslaught back in his robot mode. And, of course, you can give him his gun, put it in, and now, here he is. Onslaught back in robot mode, and then you can always get some nice cool dynamic poses here if you want, which is what makes this figure really, really fun. Aside from the fact that this is very, very cartoon accurate. So that's the transformation from alt mode back to robot mode.